First and only on 7 News, we've been telling you for almost a week now about a heated battle between a D.C. homeowner and an alleged squatter at an Airbnb.
Our Washington, D.C. reporter Phylicia Ashley joins us live now from the district. Phylicia, there's a court hearing tomorrow that both sides are looking forward to.
That's right, and the initial court hearings are first set for February of next year, but in the midst of our reporting, those hearings got moved up. Now, I spoke to D.C. lawmakers as well as attorneys about how this case could impact the future of tenants and landlords here in D.C. Since Rochanne Douglas first reached out to me, the situation between the homeowner and the Airbnb guest turned alleged squatter has grown contentious. During an emergency hearing last week, Douglas accused Shadija Romero of trying to push her off a ladder. Take a look at this. Both have called the police on each other dozens of times and filed reports and requests for restraining orders. Thursday, they are both expected in court.
It's somewhat of a classic, squatter-tenant dispute. It stemmed from an Airbnb rental, but this was back in March, and then, here we are in December.
I spoke to Aaron Sokolow, a real estate attorney who specializes in property disputes, about the probable outcomes of Thursday's hearing. Sokolow says the cash for keys agreement that the homeowner offered could be Rochanne Douglas's saving grace. Douglas offered Romero $2,500 to leave the property back in November. Romero signed but didn't follow through.
She could be found to be a legal tenant, but that the owner still has a right to possession based upon breach of that agreement. Right. So that's a possible outcome too. Even if everything goes the owner's way in court tomorrow and a judgment of possession is entered, then it's up to the landlord to file the necessary paperwork to effectuate the judgment. And, we're seeing now evictions that are being scheduled for February.
Sokolow said if Romero is considered a legal tenant, she has a right to a 21-day notice before the eviction. The U.S. Marshals will then have to schedule the eviction, and they don't evict during bad weather or the holidays. On top of that, Romero has a right to re-enter the property for up to a week to get her personal belongings out. I will be at the court hearing tomorrow, and coming up at 6, I spoke and pushed the city as well as council members to ask them if they feel there needs to be a change as it relates to the relationship, the clarification of the roles, and the laws that currently exist in D.C. I learned that there are discussions currently happening after these reports, and I'll have more on that at 6. Now reporting live from Northeast D.C., Phylicia Ashley, 7 News.
First, though, that 7 News exclusive story now getting the attention of D.C. leaders. Council members are looking into the city's housing laws amid an ongoing legal battle between an Airbnb owner and the woman that she says has been squatting in her home for months. Good evening, I'm Scott Thuman. Last night, our Phylicia Ashley discovered this isn't the first time this so-called unwanted guest has stayed beyond her welcome, and now she's looking into how this case could impact the future of housing laws in the district.
I spoke with sources within district government and learned after seeing our reports, local leaders and lawmakers are discussing changes on how to define tenants and landlords in the district. I also spoke to D.C. Council Chairman Phil Mendelson about my reporting on the accused squatter and homeowners back and forth.
I've seen some of the reports. I think it's pretty shocking what they've revealed.
Most alarming to the chairman are the patterns 7 News uncovered in court records about Romero's history of repeated evictions in the district.
To me, it's this pattern. It's not just one situation, but the fact that the allegations are situation after situation, apartment building after apartment building. To me, it seems that there's intent, and that's why I've said I think that it's more than just the traditional landlord-tenant situation. It's more than just a civil matter. I can't help but think that there's some criminal implications.
The alleged squatted home is in Councilman Zachary Parker's ward. He provided this statement following our reporting, saying in part, quote, "I have asked my legislative team to look into existing law to understand what gaps may exist, and I am prepared to explore the introduction of emergency legislation if necessary." He called the situation ridiculous and said his team is monitoring it, as well as the court's decision. And he's met with the homeowner. Do you imagine that what's being revealed in the reports and the pattern that's been shown could possibly inspire some changes as it relates to tenant and landlords in the district?
Well, I'm certainly willing to look at the law.
The homeowner and extended guest in the middle of it all?
I'm literally helpless, and I'm relying on a court to hopefully see what has transpired and how I was basically connived into a situation.
You mentioned that you are going to leave, but you're going to go through the court process.
No.
Okay.
No. I'm going to leave before the court process finishes, but we are still going to go through the court process.
The last time they checked, the homeowner said that Romero was inside the house. Court is tomorrow. As of now, Romero is listed as representing herself. Lawmakers as well as council members told me that they will be watching this case as well as the results of court closely. Now reporting from Northeast DC, Phylicia Ashley, 7 News.